Lacey protest. It's weekly, and I'm going to try to talk to Melina Abdullah in a second. See if she wants to answer a couple questions. Just ask her like what's going on here, and what's the plan. Melina, can I ask you a question on my live stream? It's on Haps News. Dr. Abdullah, what's the plan with all this energy, and what's the point of being here today for this action?
Well, we're trying to capture all the energy, trying to stay in these streets, remembering that what we're looking for is a transformation of this world as we know it. We want to transform public safety. We want to reimagine public safety. We're pushing back against narratives that say you can tinker around the edges of policing. You cannot. And so that's what we're doing here. We're with the families of many of those who've been killed by police, or many of the families of those who've been killed by police, as well as, our whole crew from Black Lives Matter and White People for Black Lives, People's Budget. And so that's what we're building towards today.
Publicbudget.com. I know you got a lot to do, so let's ask you one last question. Melina, where are you drawing the strength? You've been out front for so long, and I've been seeing you everywhere.
It's a beautiful movement, and I know you've been around for 5 years? You've been
7.
Oh, you've been here the whole
I shot
7.
your first action at the Trayvon verdict uprising.
Yeah. So we've been in the streets 7 years, and what we're really trying to build is a movement that is restorative, that is it gives us life. It doesn't take away our life. It's a way that we really channel our energy and make change. It gives us purpose. And so I'm not tired. I'm not even close to tired. I'm becoming enlivened and invigorated movement work. And I think that many of us who've been in this since the beginning feel the same way. Yeah, thanks, man.
I'm just going to take a little walk around, and then I'll come back around for when they get up on stage and speak. What's that, man? And it's interesting what she said. She's out here with the families, and every of the victims of police violence and police murder in LA, and sometimes from outside of LA, but it's very overwhelming to see the same families here year after year after year. And the police department in LA had a big press conference yesterday, and they announced that this cop named Tingarides, this black woman, was going to be the head of some new aspect of the department, and that was their response to this massive global BLM revolution. And so nothing new, same thing. And after all these years, here's all the families, and that's the law enforcement in Los Angeles' big answer. They're going to fix it themselves, and they've been trying to do that for a long time, and that's how we got where we are. So we're back downtown LA with BLM LA. This is the weekly Jacky Lacey protest. Let's see if anybody else we could talk to. Let me talk to this guy. He's pretty talkative, and he's got a perspective, and see if he likes live streams. Hey man, you want to talk to my live stream?
What's up?
Haps News. I'll just ask you who you are, where you are, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What's going on? Hey. So who are you? Where are you? What's going on here?
So right now we're in downtown LA. We're on Spring End Temple right in front of City Hall. And I am Eric, man, proud owner of Public Statement Apparel. We're out here letting our voice be heard. Right now it's a BLM event. However, what we out here talking about is fuck Jacky Lacey. Now, if you don't know who Jacky Lacey is, Google her. And Google exactly what she has done to prosecute killer cops. That's what I want you to do. That's your homework for tonight, people. Google Jacky Lacey, who she is in California, and what she's done to prosecute killer cops. I'm talking about cold blood, too. Cold blood. Another public statement brought to you by Public Statement Apparel, man.
You know what's so compelling about Jacky Lacey is that all these years with one prosecution, And the whole time, the LAPD was killing more people than any other law enforcement in the country, agency in the country.
Absolutely.
And still she didn't. How is Jacky Lacey survived? Why is she still here?
Your guess is about as good as mine, brother. It's because she's being protected. Just like we all wondered the same thing about Trump. How's he still here after all the ridiculous things that he's gone through? He's protected.
A lot of power.
A lot of power and a lot of protection. Look at these boys. Y'all can see it. Y'all can just turn around. Look. This is Jacky Lacey. This is all her call right here. These are her soldiers. All that. Look, you can go down there. All down there. They're everywhere. If you keep filming, boss, you're gonna see helicopters. You can look up there. Look, you see them with binoculars? They're looking at us right now. Look at them. Yep. They know we see them. Yeah, hi.
He's talking about over here.
Yeah, we see you. Yeah, so there's all kinds of things. This is Jacky Lacey and her goons out here doing her bidding for. So, that's what we out here. We doing that emergency stage. You know what I'm talking about?
Come on.
That's what we're doing.
Thanks for burning that stage.
Yeah, no worries.
Just clean the place out. Let's get Olympia.
That's it. That's what we're doing.
Thank you, my friend.
No problem, brother.
Eric, I'll talk to you later. Thanks.
Public Statement Apparel, y'all.
Just him. Hey, where do they find you?
Public Statement. I'm on Instagram, Public Statement Apparel, all one word, and publicstatementapparel.com, all one word.
Great. Thanks, man.
Guys.
There you go. Support black-owned business. Public Apparel.
Y'all make sure. Support black entrepreneurs, y'all. Come get your shirt. If you don't want a shirt, come get your 6 days, man. I got them over here for $5. I was right around in the V12 with the racks in the middle. Had a friend almighty God that let my young money kill.
So as long as I have a minute before they talk, I just want to show you something. I was down here streaming on the 25th, and they started popping off with projectiles, and they shot me in the ankle. And this is what's happening with that now. Now the whole thing is like turning bruised orange and shit. So that is the result of a less lethal projectile fired right from this building on the 25th. And, just from my perspective, the police are really not, they need to be a lot more careful. There's so many young people out here protesting who have never been out in downtown LA before, and they don't really know what's going on here, and or where they are, what the LAPD is capable of, and I'm not being dramatic when I say that. I'm a white guy, and I'm out here because I choose to be, and so I'm not in the game, and I support the protests and everything. I wouldn't really, I might be here without a camera, but I'm not right now. So, okay, I think this is gonna get started soon. So this is BLM LA. If you don't know, this is the first Black Lives Matter. This is where the whole thing happened. I was talking to Melina Abdullah a minute ago, and she's pretty much the public face. She's up front right now. She's not by herself, but she's out there for Black Lives Matter LA. And, she was just talking about that the reason that it's possible to really, catalyze change with all this energy and this current uprising is because they've been organizing for so long. They've just been out here organizing and in a very inclusive way. As you look around, you see there's a lot of black people here, but there's also a lot of white people here. There's some Asian people here. There's brown people here, of course. We're in LA. Yeah, and there's white people. Everybody's here. So what Melina was saying is that BLM LA started in 27 years ago. So 2013 at the Trayvon Martin verdict uprising. That's what her and Patrice Colors and the other woman was calling their first their birthday. And they recently just celebrated the 7th anniversary right here.
Jacky, Lacey must go. Jacky, Lacey must go.
Let me see if this kid on the scooter wants to talk. 5 years ago, his brother, I'm trying to remember his name, was shot and killed by the LAPD. And so he's been out here speaking with BLMLA. And he's pretty ramped up. Let me see. I'll wait till he comes back down here. Anyways, his name is Renee. His brother was killed by the LAPD 5 years ago, shot 3 times in the back and twice in the head. And I don't know what it's like for people. Like, it must just be such an extreme trigger to be at these things. And,
Yes, we got this from REI. They're pretty sold out right now. But I'd say if you're going to be someone riding on like dumps or on trails, there's a different version of this. Okay, well this is perfect. This is probably the cheapest one they have. It's like $5. I know it's a lot, but it's a really good buy.
I'm going to spend more.
Oh, well this is only $5.
REI.
It's got this person. I like it a lot. It's really comfortable.
I'm going to go check it out. It's right there.
Yeah, well I've seen it online. It's like kind of sold out on those stores. So you can probably find it online.
Sweet. Thanks, man. Yeah, I was just talking to that guy about the bike he bought. It's not related to Black Lives Matter. What's up, Bob? How are you? It's Sam Slavic. You want to talk to my live stream? Yes? Okay. I'm gonna get it close so I can hear you. Please talk loud. Hi, what's your name? Where are you? What are you doing here?
I'm Michael Novik. I'm an anti-racist action. I've been coming to these for a long time. My wife and I lost a child a dozen years ago, so I really empathize with the families especially. But I think it's critical for people to come out against these racist police murders of impunity. The fact that the DA hasn't done anything about it in 7 years, 8 years now.
7 years.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael, Jacky Lacey must go. What the hell? Why is Jacky Lacey still in office?
She got a pass, I think. She ran unopposed. She snuck in the back door. She was like anointed by the previous DA, who was really a Republican. She was his protege, but she pretends she's a Democrat. People think, oh, she's a Democratic black woman, she must be okay. But she's proven, categorically in her practice that it doesn't matter. She's part of the system that upholds and defends white supremacy and racist police murders and impunity, and she's got their backs all the time. The police, that's the police. Even the chief comes out against some of the killings, she still doesn't prosecute. So it's like pointless.
So no conspiracy theory. She's just part of the machine.
Yeah, they one hand wash the other. You see all these liberal politicians come out and back her, and that's they're going to the same thing. In this issue, during the tide, we have things from the Future Left about how much money the Police Protective League donates. They gave her over $1 million for the campaign. So of course, she's got who bucks to spend.
Here's a big question that's kind of related. So $2 billion from the state, $1 billion from the county to target homelessness, and then all the COVID money that's supposed to be allotted and coming in. Where's the money? Who's got the money?
Well, it went into the bureaucracy, it went to the police departments. They all tapped that and claimed they're providing homeless services. LAPD gets $2 billion for general fund and $1.5 billion in other money that they get money from the LA Metro system. They get money from the LA Public Library. They get money from the Parks Department.
Municipal courts.
This is on top. Yeah.
Municipal courts.
Yeah. This is on top of the general fund money. So their budget's almost double what they get from the city from all these other sources, federal grants, weapons that they get donated from the Defense Department, civil forfeiture when they seize assets. It goes into like snitch funds. They're trying to create these snitch networks. They pay off with the money they get from the drug busts. So it's a huge machine. It's just like Ferguson, where they were running the city on the fines and penalties. Same shit here.
I'm gonna thank you.
Sure.
I'm gonna call you up. Can I call you up and interview you about this for something I'm working on? Excellent.
The number in here is like a Google Voice link.
I got your number. I got your email too. Thank you. That's Michael Novick, and he is turning the tide. There's a lot of information about, the city and where the money's going and all the COVID money. And so that's something I'm really interested to research and find out more about. Yeah, I'm reading your comments. Yeah, I know it was hard to hear him. That's why I tried to wrap it up. I think it's about to start. And in the meantime, I'll see if there's anybody else we can talk to. Here's where we are. Right there is LA City Hall. Directly across the street from that is the LAPD headquarters. Right here is the court building. And right here is the Hall of Justice. So this is north. I'm looking down the block toward Arcadia. And south, I'm looking to Temple Street. And we're right here on First. So that's, Spring. And so this is kind of like this area has a very rich history of uprise and protests. And tonight, I don't know what they're anticipating, but there's not the usual, you never know who's going to show up at these things. It's so mixed. So, tonight, I don't know what's happening. They've got it blocked off. You can see 2 blocks down. They set up a little skirmish line and shut the streets down. So 2 blocks all the way around, they got a perimeter. And that's kind of the usual thing that they do when there's uprise downtown. And so that's south. That's City Hall. We're over here. This is Jacky Lacey's place. And there we go. This is Black Lives Matter LA weekly action. And it's about ousting the DA, Jacky Lacey. LA historically kills more people than any other law enforcement agency in the country. Jacky Lacey, historically, with rare exceptions, has ever prosecuted. I think she prosecuted 1 police murder.
I'm gonna ask y'all to come down. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Fuck you, Donald Trump. Fuck you, Donald Trump. Right, there you go. All right. Woo! And we don't have more of that for you to do. This is our weekly. Not once a month. Not every now and then. Not what we're going to do today. But this is our weekly. Jacky Lacey must go. Yeah! Weekly since October. Yeah! Weekly since we concluded that Jacky Lacey was never going to do her job. She was never going to fight for justice for the families, and she was never going to hold police accountable. So we've been out here with the families ever since. Understand this. Black Lives Matter was founded by strong black women. Black Lives Matter is led by strong black women. Black Lives Matter is centered and directed by strong black women. And here is one of those strong black women that lead, direct, and guide. But more importantly, it's about the work. Not just being up here when the cameras are out, not just where's the mic, but it's all that work in between. For the past 7 years, out front, let's do this. How about that? What do you think about this? We got to challenge that. We can't accept that shit. This has been one of the strongest voices, one of the bright shining lights, and one of the people that keep us going. Many of y'all know who I'm talking about because all Black Lives Matters events start with libation.